Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to share this sketch I did for World Watercolor Month. The prompt was the second day and it was passion, I think, and I'm passionate about art, so I thought it'd be fun to sketch some art supplies. This took me about a half an hour to draw and paint, so just to give you a little bit of an idea about what it took in real time. I did speed this up though, so you could kind of see it all happen a little more quickly, and I will post the reference photo in the corner of the screen so you can see that. And if you want to paint along, you can just pause it. And I think I actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm just Lindsay Weirich on Instagram, you could see the photo, the still photo of that if you want to, you know, have it on your screen bigger to look at. And I'm just sketching with a regular old pencil, actually. I've been using this silly pencil so much for World Watercolor Month because I've been doing some sketching upstairs, just sitting on the couch, and it was in the little, you know, do you have like one of those junk baskets in your living room where you have like a box of tissues and remote controls and a pad of paper and pencils and eyeglasses? Well, that's what was in my junk basket, and I didn't have another pencil on me, so I just grabbed that, and I've just been using that all month, and it's working pretty well. It's just a number 2 pencil. So I'm using a ruler to get the colored pencils sketched on there straight, but other than that, just kind of eyeball it and free-handed and whatnot. And I chose to use colored pencils that had the entire barrel painted their lead color. I have I call them kind of prop pencils, but I have a bunch of, they're decent quality. They're not my favorites, but they're in a, if you've ever watched my Satchat videos, you'll see them in behind me. And they're actually really handy for using for still life props or photo props and stuff. And I actually like how the barrels are colored. I wish more colored pencil companies would do full barrel coloring like Holbein does, because it's just, for me, it's so much, I can identify and grab my pencils so much quicker rather than just having a little end done like Derwent and Karen Dosh do, which is kind of a pain because I love those pencils, but you just got the little ends to look at, which is kind of, it just takes me a little bit longer to identify what I want. But anyway, for still life purposes, I think they're really pretty. I apologize, in times my camera, my sketch goes a little bit low, but as you can see at this stage, I'm just blocking stuff in. And the watercolors that I'm using are Regina's watercolors. They are a handmade watercolor, but they're made with, they make their own watercolor medium with honey and gum arabic and I'm not sure what else, and clove oil, that's it, for a preservative, and they mix it with Dr. P.H. Martin's liquid hydrous watercolors, and they use the basic 12 colors or the basic 11 colors to mix all of their colors. So all the colors in that palette can actually be made by their 11 foundation colors, which is the same as the first set from Dr. P.H. Martin's, if you're familiar with that. So it's just kind of unique and novel, and I had these paints to review, and this is one of the little paintings I did with them to kind of get used to them and see what I thought. And I do like them. I don't know if they would be a go-to brand for me. I think what I would probably end up using would be their half pans. They do offer half pans, and I would get the single pigment colors and mix from that, I think, because there are quite a few that have multiple mixes, and then when you get to the set of 42, all but like, I don't know, maybe 7 of them are mixed pigments. So just, you know, if that's something that you're concerned with, just keep that in mind. They are very vibrant. It's the same thing with the Dr. P.H. Martin's hydrous watercolors. They're very vibrant, but a lot of those colors are not single pigments. They're mixed, but for whatever reason, they're pure enough that they come out really, really nice and vibrant. And this was a lot of fun to paint. I liked the way they were easy to lay down with some water. The flow was I would say moderate to minimal. So if you don't like a lot of flow in your paint, you might enjoy these. So they're kind of they're vibrant like core watercolors, but they don't have the flow that core does. Just kind of like two opposite ends of the spectrum, and it just, you know, comes down to what you like. There was by the way, the sneakers on the facing page was day 1 for World Watercolor Month, and I didn't even know if I was going to have the oomph to do World Watercolor Month this year. But day 1 was train, and honestly, I saw my sneakers on the floor, and I saw a jump rope, and I picked them both up, and I plopped them on a step stool that was by my desk upstairs, and I just sketched them. So, you know, I highly recommend anybody to do a monthly art challenge, because it's amazing when you push yourself what you can accomplish. Just like with any sort of challenge, if you're exercising or training for something, it's just amazing just doing a little bit every day, how you can improve and how good you feel when you're done. You're going to feel so proud that you accomplished something that otherwise, I mean, what would I be doing with this time? I would be sitting on my butt and watching TV or scrolling on my phone. That's the activities I took away from to do World Watercolor Month. So I'm certainly not I'm not missing those activities, you know? I mean, there are times where like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock rolls around and I haven't done my sketch for the day and I'm thinking, oh, I really just don't want to bother. You know, I don't want to put the effort in. It's so much easier just to sit and scroll or watch or, you know, make a bowl of popcorn and watch a movie or something. But I'm always glad I did it. And I'm always a little tired or in certain parts of a challenge month, but I'm always glad I did it. And even if the sketch isn't a great one, even if it's not one that I really like when I'm done with it, I'm still glad I did it, you know? And it forces you to just show up and try it. And it really hits home the fact that you do not need to be in the mood to make art, and you do not need to be inspired to make art. And if I waited to make art until I was in the mood or inspired to, I would make hardly any art. And I think most artists are like that. I think it's very normal. Nobody sits around and waits for the muse to come, or they're not making much art. I have to say, there are times when the well is dry and you're just not getting any ideas. And the thing that's also cool about a monthly challenge is that these prompts, if you follow the prompts, you'll paint things you never would have painted. I would never have painted my sneakers otherwise, or I would never have painted this like little grouping of art supplies, I doubt. And that's kind of the case with most of these World Watercolor Month prompts. You are given a word and you can interpret it. Now you don't have to do the prompts, but it's fun, and it makes you paint things that you ordinarily wouldn't think of. And I love seeing how people interpret the prompts, because everybody comes out with these cool ideas that are so unique. And even though you think everyone would pick the same thing because they're all following the same prompts, and you will see some that are similar, but for the most part, everybody's like coming up with really cool ideas, and it's just so much fun. Now, I want to talk about this sketchbook. This is one of the reasons I'm doing World Watercolor Month, is because I was tidying up and I came across this sketchbook that my friend Rosie sent me, and it was so tiny, and I thought, what would I paint in such a tiny little sketchbook? And then World Watercolor Month started, and I just did not have the energy. I was like, I don't know, just overwhelmed. But I was like, you know what? I can this is just a little under 5 by 5 inches. I'm like, I could do a little sketch every day. I don't have to make it a big ordeal. I don't have to go and, you know, try to top my last work or do this or do that. I could make this simpler and get it done. And so most of my sketches have been in this tiny little sketchbook. Now, I was on vacation for a week and I took that opportunity to do some larger sketches, and that was fun. And some days I do work in a larger sketchbook, but having that little one there, having that permission to not go all out and to do something a little more simpler was exactly what I needed. So you don't have to be working in a 9 by 12 sketchbook. In fact, I would not recommend doing a daily art challenge in a 9 by 12 sketchbook or an 11 by 14, anything big. Pick something small, like a 5 by 7, and feel free to, if you're going to use a big sketchbook, feel free to tape it off into smaller sections, like comic book style, so you can do smaller little works. You know, you'll grow putting in that little extra time, because like I said, I didn't work this into my regular day. This was all extra stuff that I've been doing this month, and that extra stuff is going to make you level up. So I highly encourage you to give it a try. Even if you don't do every day, you miss a day here and there, you're still going to notice the benefits. You know, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Don't say, well, if I missed a day, well, I might as well just give up. No, don't do that. Just catch up where you are the next day. It's just like going on a diet or having an exercise routine where you're training for something. If you missed a day, or you slipped up and had something you didn't want to eat on your diet, well, you can either eat that whole bag of chips and say, well, it's all lost, or you can say, okay, I tripped up a little bit. Oh, well, I stumbled. I'm going to start fresh tomorrow. And that's what you should do with an art challenge too, because you are going to get better and you are going to grow, and it's going to be worth it. So I hope this gives you a little bit of motivation. I hope you enjoyed this time lapse of my sketch. Until next time, happy crafting.